One day, a teacher of grade 1 gave this print to students and asked to color it. She wants to see the creativity of students in coloring, and she expected to see colorful dogs the next day. Next day, when students were asked to show the picture, there were many colors on that dog: brown, black, black and white, and so on. And surprisingly, there was a kid who showed this. This kid thought it was a bird and colored like a parrot. So the point here is, the teacher did not convey that it was a dog because it was very obvious to her. This is what we call as curse of knowledge. Hi, this is Chandravidya, and today I am going to discuss on curse of knowledge. I would like to give one more example from my own experience. It might bring you a smile. This was the recent assignment of my boy who's in grade 1. After he drew this face, I helped him drawing right-pointed arrows and asked him to write the part name. Then I put one left arrow and see the way he understood. Since I reversed the arrow, he did the same for the spelling too. And yeah, per him, NOS is the spelling for nose. Maybe I should have told that however the pointer is, you should always write from left to right. But I can never imagine that kid will reverse the spelling if we reverse the pointer, right? That is also curse of knowledge. So, curse of knowledge is a cognitive bias that occurs when an individual communicating with other individuals unknowingly assumes that the other have the background to understand. The more familiar you are with something, the harder it is to put yourself in the shoes of someone who is not familiar with that thing. You can't unlearn what you have already learned, and you can't see it with the fresh eyes anymore. If you are a teacher, leader, manager, speaker, coach, then you have to understand more on this. In 1990, there was an interesting study conducted on this at Stanford University. In the study, participants were divided into two groups, tappers and listeners. Each tapper was partnered with one listener. Tappers were told to pick a well-known song such as Happy Birthday and tap out the rhythm on the table. The listeners were asked to guess the name of the song. But before that, the tappers were asked to predict how often the listener would be able to guess the song. The tappers were very confident. They expressed that they would recognize the song at least 50% of the time. And what happened? There were 120 songs tapped, but the listeners only guessed 3 out of it. It was a shock. Tappers estimated that 50% of that would be guessed, but only 2.5% was guessed right. So how were the tappers so wrong in their estimate? The problem was that the tapper could hear the melody in their head, but the listeners couldn't. The tapper's knowledge of song caused them to miscalculate the listener's comprehension. So how this is relevant to you? When you are expanding your knowledge in an area, you naturally become accustomed to the lingo of your environment. Initially, whatever sounded as unknown jargons are now part of your language. Since you are used to those words, you naturally think everybody else is also familiar with that. And this is fine until the discussion is with the same set of group with same level of knowledge. But think about these scenarios. Discussion with a new team member from a different department, or adding a new team member into our team, but he might have a different set of expertise. Explaining a new process to the entire team. Meeting with multiple groups like IT, finance, HR. So these are scenarios. In these cases, there are a lot of chances that people would not follow the jargons we use. These are likely classic cases of curse of knowledge. Once when I had a conversation with my sister who is a finance expert, She was discussing on an Excel feature, and being in IT, I have not used Excel much, at least before I came to the management track. So that Excel feature seemed like a pretty cool idea for me, but she was surprised that I see this as a new tip. So to be sure whether I am dumb or this seems to be a new idea for my colleagues as well, I discussed with some of my friends and they see it to be a cool tip as well. So this is all because of knowledge. And understanding it will give you a lot new perspective of viewing a situation. How to break the curse of knowledge? So no matter how hard you try to put yourself in the first time user's shoe, it's nearly impossible once you have mastered in that area. Here are a few tips that you can consider. Know your audience. Pick a person who can give you true feedback and who has less knowledge about what you are planning to discuss. Do some pre-discussion even before your meeting with that person and see if he understands everything. Get feedback on his gray area and then rework on your content. So by relying on consistent human insights from your target audience, you can avoid curse of knowledge to a certain level. I hope this helps you to get a new perspective of leading, teaching, mentoring, or coaching. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Hit like and comment to show your support. Thanks for watching.